Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Trains Per Network. Enjoy the trains, enjoy this intro.
Look at that! Aha! Welcome back, 400! Welcome back!
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our our fourth team in the indoor football league history of teams, and we come to now the city of Jacksonville, Florida, to meet the Jacksonville Sharks in this little one-part series. We're going to talk about their 15-year career they have been with, and well, let's get into it. Starting off in 2010, following the restructuring of the Arena Football League and the cancellation of 2009 season, the AFL announced it would be placing expansion in Jacksonville. And obviously we know the team was called the Sharks. So let's take a look at year number one. And well, it was a good start in the first year for this team. The Sharks went 12-4 in their inaugural year, winning their division. 12 wins were against OKC, Orlando, Tucson, Tampa Bay twice, Dallas, Cleveland, Chicago, Alabama, Utah, the Battle, Wings, and Spokane. And this team, obviously in the first year, made the playoffs, got all the way to the conference semifinals to lose to an in-state rival, the Orlando, the Predators, by a final score 73-69. What a good start for this young team. They got themselves they got their name out early in this. Now, what can they do in 2011? Well, they improved from last year, going in 14 wins, 2 against Georgia, 2 against New Orleans, 2 against Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Orlando twice, Philly, Iowa, Milwaukee, and Spokane were their wins in their 14-win regular season. And in their second year, they go out and win Arena Bowl number 24 to Arizona. If you remember our Arizona series, you would have learned about that in our part 2. That obviously, look at that. Congrats to Jacksonville. In year 2, you win the title. Well, we entered 2012. They went 10-8, a drop down. Their wins were against Kansas City, Cleveland twice, New Orleans, Iowa, Orlando twice, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. But this year, they would not get to the Arena Bowl and go for back-to-back. They lost in the conference title game to Philadelphia, and boy, did they lose. 89-54 was your final of that one. Not a good day. And we come to 2013. 12-6, they led their division. 12 wins were against twice an in-state rival of the Tampa Bay Storm. Pittsburgh twice, Cleveland twice, New Orleans twice, Iowa, Philadelphia, and another in-state rival, Orlando twice. But again, they meet up with Pittsburgh in the conference championship game and lose to Philadelphia for the second year in a row. This time by a final score 75-59. Well, 2014, they were like, all right, we got to go and get to the Arena Bowl and beat Philadelphia. Well, this year they made the playoffs. 2014, They went 7-11, and their wins came twice against San Antonio, Tampa Bay, Iowa, Spokane, New Orleans, and LA. No playoffs this year. 2015 came along 10-8, back in the playoffs. 10 wins were against Vegas, Cleveland twice, Philadelphia twice, New Orleans twice, LA, Orlando, and Tampa Bay. And they got back to the Arena Bowl, number 28, where they lost to, well, unfortunately, they lost to, San Jose. Final score 68-47. And now comes to the final year they were in the Arena Football League 2016, a 7-9 record. And his air wins 3 times against Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, Portland, Orlando, and LA. And, well, obviously at the playoffs, so we'll go to this here. On October 12, 2016, the Sharks left the AFL. And then on October 18th of that same year, the Sharks announced, their owner announced, that they'd be joining the National Arena League for the 2017 season. Now, I'm just going to put this as a notice, folks. National Arena League doesn't give you the best info, and I've been trying to do my best with my researching, so 2017, I got who they beat, but after that, you might, if they made the playoffs, you'll hear kind of how they did. 2017, though, their first year in the National Arena League. How about an 11-1 year? 11 wins came against twice. Columbus, Georgia, the Steelhawks. High Country twice. Montgomery. That's Monterey twice. The Raids twice, and the Wolfpack. And in their first year, this team went out and they won the NAL championship to Columbus, 27-21, and in their first year became champions of the NAL. Year 2 in 2018, they were 10-6, third in their division. Well, unfortunately, they didn't make it far in the playoffs. Well, actually, they made it to the semifinals to lose to the Carolina Cobras by a final score 73-48. 2019, though, another amazing year. 13-1 first, and they went out and won the NAL championship once again and getting their revenge on the Carolina Cobras. They beat them, final score of 52-48. 2020, obviously, COVID year, they didn't have any games. 2021 was a delayed and shortened season, unfortunately finishing 2-6. 2022, they went 7-7, back in the playoffs again. Fortunately, lost in the semifinals to the Almaty Empire. And in their last year in the NAL, 2023, they went 10-3, and for the third time, they won their third NAL championship, beating the Carolina Cobras once again by a final score of 54-45. And then also in that same year of 2023, on August 22nd, they announced they would be joining the IFL for the 2024 season. In their first year, they went 5-11. Their 5 wins came against Tulsa twice, the Sioux Falls Storm, the Iowa Barnstormers, and Quad City. Not the best first year after their success in the NAL, but year 2 for this Jacksonville Shark team in the IFL, boy, was that better. 10 wins on the year, making the playoffs the first time in the IFL, and their wins came against the Pirates of Massachusetts, Vegas, Tulsa, Iowa twice, Fishers twice, Arizona, Quad City, and Green Bay. But their playoffs did not last long, losing in round number 1 to Quad City by a final score of 57-41. And that brings us, that is it for the Jacksonville Shark. Obviously, guys, I do want to give you guys the support if you've been enjoying these videos. I've been enjoying doing these ones because they're honestly been fun. But thank you guys so much for watching this one. Our next one on the list, we're talking about, technically it's one team but it had two different names. It's the Duke City Gladiators / the New Mexico Chupacabros will be the next one on the board. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like, hit the sub, and as always, we will see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.